Hey guys, I don't know what happened. It just dropped. I don't know what went wrong, but it just dropped, y'all. I was filming, I got up to go do something and get some paperwork for these notes, and bam, I came back, it was off. So we'll have to pick up where we left off. We were discussing, the date change and a few other things and a little bit about Sebastian and things like that. But I got to a good point when I realized that it wasn't recording. So I don't know how it stopped. I didn't hit pause or anything. It just stopped. But y'all missed like 30 minutes of good fire. No, I'm playing. But anyway, let's get back to where we were at. Allegedly, these are my opinions, my theories, my thoughts, my speculation, my free speech, not to reflect the channel. Y'all's comments, y'all's alone, not to reflect the channel. We do our research together because we're a big hearted little family. Trigger warning times 100 million. This is about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, the missing 15-year-old out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, that is now turned 16 December 7th, 2024, still missing, has not been found, has not been heard from, has not nothing. They changed the date back to the 25th of February was his last seen day. So we no longer need to say February 26th like I did a while ago. That's a no more, but that's why I did it this way, was to clearly go back to the 25th, which is where I think all of us have been doing investigations from the beginning. As anyway, as of that day, I think we feel that something happened then and not the 26th. I've always felt that, Tinkerbell might play a role, but now I'm totally opposite. I think it was more or less a setup, or it was dropping something, giving something to somebody or something. That's one of the family members, I believe. I don't think, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm starting to weigh more now that it happened before midnight, because they are so stuck on 12 midnight to 6 a.m. that I'm thinking the total opposite. Something happened way before that, but they're trying to use that as the time to give Chris an alibi. Because I feel the reason he doesn't have an alibi right now is because they do not know where he was that night. All they know is that he was at that job site that morning. So if he was in Hendersonville, which is what he had said at Nancy Grace, although he corrected it, he still said, yes, ma'am. And that one, when she asked him a second time, trying to trick him about it, because she asked him once and he kind of beat around the bush. Well, I'm not supposed to talk about this day, that day. Well, then when she asked him a second time, she kind of hit him while she was asking him something else. And she said, so you were there before February 26th from the first? Yes, ma'am. And then he went, no, well, no, like I came on the 26th. But he did slip, just like she slipped in her speech. I mean, they've slipped, they've lied, they've lied, they've lied, they've lied. They've abused this young man for a long time. It's horrible. It's heartbreaking. They both need to be locked up for neglect and abuse. I'm sorry. She allowed that man to abuse her child. She should be held accountable. Sorry. If we can hold Leilani, without even knowing the cause, like, this should be easy to me. But I think it's coming. I think the date change shows something's fixing to drop. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow or the next day we get an update. That's how I feel right now. And I want to talk about that because FBI, they don't really get involved unless it's pretty much foul play, right? Or crosses state lines, or it's on Indian reservations or federal property. Why the date change now? The remains were found in that Cumberland Roosevelt wildlife refuge, right? It's like all this is just like, this just happened. We haven't had an update on those in over a week, because it was found on Saturday, last Saturday. So Saturday was a week, weren't Monday. So that's 9 days, and not a peep. Not one peep on these remains has come out. But only thing we did see, not saying that they're connected by any way. We don't know that. We don't know who those remains are. We know it's someone's loved one, and it's truly heartbreaking that somebody was thrown out there like that. That's very, very heartbreaking. And pray to God they figure it out and justice is done, no matter who it may be. I'm just saying the slight chance, say that, 1%, 10%, I don't know a number, but it's weird, don't you think, that they're found and then not a peep out of it. We didn't even get to even know about it until Wednesday, and they found them on Saturday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 5 days for them to put it out. That don't usually work. The last time they were found, it was out the same day, right? And then we had an update, in like 10 days, 11 days. Here we are 9 days, And nothing, not even but one time is all they've talked about. And then they change the date on this thing. FBI does. That's a big deal. I think they got back the video like we talked about in the first video before it got cut off. I think that's what it was I think they finally figured it out. And I think to prove it, it's before midnight. If you think about what that means, they moved the date back to the 25th. So that's telling us one thing. Whatever happened to this young man happened before midnight. It is what it is, guys. Think about it. It is what it is. Happened before midnight. So he is not seen since the 25th. No more 26th. He wasn't seen. Which we always wondered who would be the witness, all that. That didn't make sense anyway. But I'm just saying, right now, they believe whatever happened before midnight. But why? She didn't go to bed till midnight. Oh, that's the fireworks show, right? She didn't hang up with him and go to bed till midnight. So what is that telling y'all guys? Think about it for a second while I take a drink of my Gatorade here. Oh, I hope I can say that. Think about that. Bam, 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 bam. We get a drum roll, please. That means there's nothing of this boy past midnight on the 25th. So no into the 26th. He was gone by the 25th. According to FBI, he was gone by the 25th. And that's how I look at it. And I think they know something now, and that's why they changed it. I think they were going by what she said before and just letting her get away with that for a while. Thinking, because, how else would they know what he was wearing? They know because she told him what he was wearing. And then there was confusion about the plants they're not being sweatpants, they're being the Adidas pants. Their choice changed so much and they lied so much. How do we know? The only one thing we do know is Sebastian Rogers didn't have any shoes on, because she made that clear. And guess what else? He had a flashlight. She made that clear. And I think she did all that, and that's why the Tinkerbell video happened. So she could use that flashlight thing and say, look, see, I told you. Look, he had to have gotten to that car. That had to be Sebastian. I think that was her plan and Chris's plan. I think that was their plan. I think Tinkerbell used the Tinkerbell video to execute her plan. I think that poor young man was put in that truck with Christopher after the roadhouse, and there's no telling where he is. And she doesn't know because she don't know where he took him. And he'll probably never tell her. And that's her guilt. That's why she's saying, I don't know why you want that. He didn't walk out that door. He'd have been picked up by the dogs. So quit saying that. And you know it as well as everybody else knows it. He didn't walk out that door or the dogs would have followed him. So make that make sense. But anyway, guys, I don't know. I might have to get in switch phones again. This one seems to be acting weird with videos now. I don't know. And this is my favorite. This is the best camera on the 14. This is the best camera to me. I don't know. Maybe just be getting, I don't know, overloaded. But think about that. Man, doesn't that really make things so much different? To me, it does. It's like, okay, now we need to focus from 6:25 p.m. when they're driving off of that roadhouse. 6:25 to midnight. That's all we got. Whatever happened in that time frame. So when would be the best time for their plan to execute? That's what I look at. When we go ahead and just tell you, I'll tell you my secret. I look at what would be the easiest thing for them to do to execute their plan. Would be, he was already there at the poker party. I think he tried to come home maybe Saturday or Saturday evening, because if he was staying at his mom's or wherever, so he wouldn't be at home, according to CPS. If that's even true, we don't know. He might have been put out, he might not. Anyway, I think he was, but we don't know. It's allegedly I'm just a big alleged bubble. Don't take it as fact, but take it as a grain of salt, baby. And trigger one time, 100 million again. I'll just say it again and again. But for sure, it's just my opinion, really. But I think that somehow he came home Saturday evening maybe to try to come over. And I think something happened that night. And I think that was the bite marks and the scratch marks. He has no answers for that. There's no dog. We can tell that's not a dog. Dogs don't scratch that way, especially not those little dogs. That's why she catered to him so much on Sunday to try to make up for it. But Christopher knew he was going to tell that teacher on Monday. And he couldn't have it because the court system with faith, all that was piling up on him. And he had already been put out. If he was put out, it would have been at the beginning of February that he was put out. So he knows now, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be home. This can't happen. We cannot allow him to tell again. What are we going to do? We can't. And that's why I think it may have been a quick planning, but it was a weekend planning. I don't think it was long-term planning like some people think. I think it was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing because he tried to come home. A fight broke out. Evidently, something probably happened. And Sebastian's like, I'm telling the teacher on Monday. And then, boom, Kay's like, well, I'll make you spaghetti pancakes. I want to talk about my whole day on Sunday because that's the last day with my son. That's what it makes me think. By the way, she talked about it so much. That was the last day and she knew it. That was his last breakfast, that was his last lunch, and that was dang sure his last dinner. That's it. So that's the point. And then them trying to push it from midnight to 6 a.m. is telling me something happened before that. They want us to say, no, nothing to see before midnight. Look at midnight. And I think that's why the Tinkerbell video now, that I think they figured that out. I think they actually probably just got that back being cleared up because it can take months and months and months, guys. Sometimes 7, 8, 9 months. So it can take a while for those to get overlaid and changed and, send them off and then they try it and they play with it and they do it and all the holidays and all that, it slows down, court proceedings and grand jury. It slows down secretive grand juries, things like that with all the holidays like we talked about in the other video before this one cut off on me. Thank God I was just going to get some when it cut off so y'all at least got to watch fire as it went off. But, think about it really clearly. I think he took that child with him. And then you give or take, that's a little over 3 hours because he had no camper, right? He would have had no camper. That gives him a little over 3 hours to get back. And that's perfect time. And then we know he went back for 17 hours. So there you go. I mean, that's the perfect window of opportunity. Because if you'd have let him get home, then you'd have had to get him out of the house. And it would have been harder, I think. So I think it was give him the medicine, let him eat. He looked so sleepy. I'm sorry, guys. Hands in his... So for somebody that's supposed to be always running around, jitter, running around, hyper, running around. He wasn't doing it. He was moping with his hands in his pocket, head down, walking real slow to the car door. He wasn't in a hurry. I think he was slowly going down. The medicine was kicking in, right? He was getting sleepy. And that would be perfect, Meet him somewhere along the way, say, hey, he's going to take you to your dad or whatever they lied about because they lie all the time. He jumped in the truck with Chris and then, poof, fell asleep probably in the first 15, 20 minutes. And that was it. Whatever happened is on Chris's watch. And that's why he's made himself a part of it from the get-go. He invited himself in by that call that morning. That 3-hour call, 2 hour and whatever call that night. I think all of that is what is they're trying to push something. And we need to think about it. We need to listen to what they're trying to tell us something happened between midnight and 6 a.m. Why are you telling us this? Why are you telling us this? It's because that's the time that Christopher had to do what he needed to do. Because once he got back to that campground and called her for the couple-hour alibi and then hung up, he had from midnight or right around midnight to when he had to be at that crane at whatever, 6 in the morning. He had 5 or 6 hours to do whatever he needed to do. And then still be in that crane that time and know, okay, that's it. We're not going to get caught. It's over and done. Long as your 3 a.m. video happens, we're good. Long as you make sure you don't fall asleep again and you get out to that car to make it look like Sebastian went out to that car, we're good. And she kind of moped out slow, like I guess maybe like to make it look like Sebastian was walking slow. Maybe he was a little nervous. Maybe he was a little scared. But she sure did run back to the house. So I remember allegedly, these are just my opinions, my theories, my free speech, my speculation. I'm a big old alleged bubble, remember that. But you get me, you feel me, right? And I'm so sorry about that first video, I wish it would have not done this because it would have been over an hour already. Golly, guys, I'm so sorry that happened. And I wanted to do an hour at least tonight on this. It's going to look like one short one and one 40, almost 50 minute and then one short one. But this is just the end of the other one, right? The one that'll post for. I'm gonna try to put. I don't know how they'll load. This one will probably load first because it's shorter. But y'all will understand. That's why I need to explain it now. Hey, the first video I was making, when I get up to leave, for some reason, when I undid my speakers or I got too far, I don't know what happened, but it cut off the video. Boom. That's it. It was done. And then from there, I had to come in and I started talking, and because the camera was still up, but the screen wasn't rolling. So I was like, what happened? So I guess when I got up to leave it, when I got so far away, it just cut off the video. So I'm so sorry, guys. So this is part 2 of the first one, the second half of the first one. And y'all will see that one probably later. Y'all probably could be like, why are you backwards? But I'm sorry, I don't want y'all to get no ending on the other one and then leave it at that. But I still got to get into other cases because I want to do 4 tonight anyway. So at least 4 besides this one. So I'm going to have to get moving. But think about it, guys. Clearly, FBI, don't get involved unless it's foul play or across state lines or on Indian land or federal land. Okay? We know some remains were found Saturday, 9 days ago now. We don't have a peep of nothing. It was only 2 hours and 9 minutes from Sebastian's home by GPS. Now, that means it probably could do it in about an hour, 45 minutes, hour and a half. Because, you know, it always takes a little longer by GPS, by navigation. So it's always a lot shorter, really, than the 2 hours and 9 minutes, I think. But not that far. He had 17 hours, plus he had 5 hours that night. Now, I don't think he could have made it all the way in there. He couldn't have made that trip, but he could have done it on the 17-hour trip. And that might not be, like I said, we don't know yet. We don't have an update on those yet, but it's just really bugging me because everything seems to start falling right now. Like the dominoes are falling again, right? Like the remains are found. They're hush quiet for 9 days now. Then 48 hours ago, boom, FBI changes the date to the 25th. It's like things are starting to fall right now. I've always thought there's some kind of secret grand jury going on. I think something's coming. I think even if it's for neglect, they're going to get him for something. He has no alibi. And I mean, she has no alibi either. She was the last one with him. So of course she's a suspect. But he got put in a suspect because he didn't have an alibi. That's why I think he's a suspect. He couldn't prove he could probably prove he was there that morning because his phone he was on, right? In that crane. But if they were able to check his phone data, if Katie hadn't finagled it, or if he had a burner, he could have had a burner phone too. But I wonder if it will show, right? Is that the Wi-Fi pings that member? Because supposedly 2 of his devices pinged close to that house that night around 6:30 p.m., right? Okay, there you go. Think about that. Could be. Suppose he was at the poker party, all that. So, like I said, maybe he did come home, tried to come home Friday night or Saturday night, got into an argument with Sebastian and got scratched, got bitten, whatever, being mean. And then it just escalated. And then he left and went back to his mama's or to Stinky Foot's or his cousins or whoever poker party. Hung out there until Sunday and was kept telling her he probably told her all night Saturday and all day Sunday, hey, I would like to see their text message. Hey, he's going to tell. What are we going to do? I think that's what he was doing. I think at that point he was panicking. He was probably like, oh no, I shouldn't have came in. I knew better. And I think, God has a funny way of doing things. And I think those bite marks and scratch marks were from Sebastian, but I think it was from Saturday or Friday night. I don't think it was from Sunday, unless it was maybe Sebastian woke up while he was in the truck headed back to Memphis and started fighting. That's possible. I mean, we don't know. I don't even want to think about it. It breaks my heart because my faith is strong and I have hope, right? But we all have hope. But I want to say clearly that I feel that, oh yeah, we got a good one here. I feel that this young man is going to, I'm wondering if this is going to be him. I don't know, but I'm wondering. I don't know if it would be. I would think he would have put him the other way, like Mississippi or somewhere that way. But then again, you never know. We don't know. He could have done the total opposite, and that's what I think about. He could have went the opposite direction, right? Thinking they'll never look that way. They're going to be looking between here and Memphis. Let me put him the other way. Think about it. Outside the box, guys. Outside the box. Think backwards. Okay, we know. Okay, what did everybody talk about at the beginning? He's somewhere between Memphis and Hendersonville, right? How many times y'all hear that, guys? Think about it. How many times y'all hear that? He's got to be between Memphis and Hendersonville. Got to be. Even me, I thought Easy Days area, somewhere in there. But little did I think, until the remains were found there, which we don't know who that is yet. Bless their heart, my condolences to someone's family. That's someone's loved one. That makes perfect sense, guys. He, in his head, as military man, thought, okay, they're going to be checking Hendersonville to Memphis. That's the route they're going to be checking everything in that area. They're not going to go 2 hours the other way. That's the opposite direction. So let me go 2 hours the other way in my 17-hour run and make sure that I don't take my phone with me. I leave it with whoever was with them, and then they're pulling the camper. He just had another vehicle taking him that way. That's my thought. Boom, it kills two stones at once. He gets his camper home, he has somebody else's vehicle, he drives it over there, he meets him by his parents, swaps in, jumps in his truck, goes home. Law enforcement don't ever know. It looked like he went up there, did his thing, came back. And what little do we know, he probably did so much more than that. But it makes sense to go the opposite direction. And I say that because as soon as that broke, that they were found on a wildlife refuge at an entrance that's not used, I'm thinking in my head, wow. We know he's military. We know he's good with maps. We know he knows that whole entire area. He's probably worked all around those areas. And in his head, he was thinking, opposite way. I got to go opposite. Y'all go ahead and search all you want with your dogs and your people and your drones, and y'all YouTube search everything you want. You ain't gonna find them over here. And he told Seth in the very beginning, what are you going to do if this goes south or sideways? What does that tell you right there? That's him admitting the guilt right there, to me. Then you tell the bio father that. I don't know how Seth didn't haul off and knock the hell out of him. Because I'm sure I probably would have. But, I'm sorry. I hope y'all are okay with what I just said, but I do feel that in order to think about it in the way of them, you have to think outside the box. And my thought now is it makes perfect sense to put him the opposite direction, because nobody's going to look that way. I mean, I have, but not that far. But I did go 60 miles because I thought 1 hour, that's 2 hours this way. I never thought about 2 hours. That's only 4 hours. Okay, I've always wondered what he did for those extra 9 hours. Okay, 2 and 2, that's 4 of them. He still had 5 hours. And that's kind of what I'm saying, is he had plenty of time to do it. I'm not saying that is Sebastian that they found. We don't know that. Please make sure y'all have that clear. We don't know that, but now it's made me think, look the opposite direction. It really made me think that way. So my next target searches might be the opposite direction. And maybe we all need to start searching the opposite direction. We've searched that other way. Let's try to search the opposite direction and see if we get some better answers. That's what we're doing. Next hitch, we're doing 2 searches. Because we're going to do Suzanne this week before I go back. But we're going to do Summer Wells. I'm going to go spend 1 day, me and Ruby. We can check all that area. I'm going to put my drones up, film as much as I can in 4 hours with drones, land the drones, and we're going to kind of walk around that perimeter a little bit, get a feel for it. Because, we got that big search party coming up in June. So I want to make sure that I know the area well, and I know how to tell people, hey, we need to go this way to be safe. I'm going to have it all droned out. When we get up there, everybody's going to meet, and then I'm going to bring the big TV out of the camper and put it on a table, and I'm going to play the drone footage so you'll be able to see everywhere that we want to go. And then I'm going to take some yellow caution tape, and I got like 5 rolls of it, and we're going to, any area that when we go like tree to tree in a grid like that, somebody's going to tie that yellow ribbon on that tree knowing, okay, this side has been combed. Then we're going to move over, and then we'll tie off on the tree. We'll go back and take them out after, but I'm just saying we'll do them on a straight line of trees, straightest straight line we can find, to where we cover that entire area. And we'll go over that more before the time gets here. But You know, that's the same thing now I want to do in Sebastian. I want to go the other way. And now that I got 2 people that are going to start rolling with me, thank God, amen. One of them has another dog. We can cover a lot more ground. A lot more. So y'all might be meeting somebody new pretty soon, guys. I don't know how much it'll be on film, but I don't know if this person's going to allow me to film them or not. But I'm sure a little bit. But, you know, it's just somebody that wanted to join the searches. And it's somebody that's actually, it's not somebody that lives where I live or works for me or anything like that. It's somebody that lives in that area of Hendersonville that I've kind of communicated with for about 4 or 5 months by email and things. And I've met a couple of times when I went up there. And it's a very good family. It's a husband and a wife. They're good people. They have a dog. And they're like, hey, we're down, right? We just don't want to search this area because, you know, I feel like they felt like it's been searched so much. And I know things get missed, but they want to branch out, like, you know, and that's what I was explaining to them. We're going to branch out the opposite direction. Because, like, I want to go look at that Roosevelt Wildlife Refuge. I want to go see that area. I want to see how easy it is to access that. I want to look around those areas because, you know, that's something that we never thought about was these big, you know, parks. Look at what Seth served in the beginning. Didn't Katie and them give him a tip to that park right 100 miles away? But it was the way that towards Memphis. So they kind of put everybody on that. Look at what they're doing, guys. See, it's another thing I wasn't going to talk about tonight, but I just slipped up. Here we go. Think about that. They sent Seth 100 miles away going towards Memphis. From what I understand, that's the way they went. It was like not the halfway point, but it was 100 miles away. And supposedly that tip came through by Katie, the mom, or whatever. Unless it was somebody else, I don't know. But I thought that's what he said is that Sebastian's mom, family, friend, or whatever gave him the tip to search that thing. Like they're putting them in that direction. They're putting them on that timeline of 12 to 6. They're talking so much. She's talked only about the 25th. Never talked one thing about this child on the 26th. Never searched for this child more than 30 minutes that morning riding around. Which I don't consider that searching anyway. There was a reason for that. I think she wanted to get away from that Wi-Fi, get away from that house to be on the phone with Chris. I think she's tech smart. You got to remember that. She left that house for a reason. Why? There's something big that she left that house for. We just haven't figured it out yet. But we will. We'll keep digging. Somebody's going to figure it out. There's too many of us out here. Somebody's going to figure it out. But I do feel that 25th being changed, that they finally got the answers they need. I do feel that now. I feel a lot more confident now that arrests are fixing to be made. I wouldn't be surprised if it was tomorrow, to tell you the truth. From what I'm hearing from some people there, locals, the fire is getting, I just talked to someone. That video didn't drop, but this morning earlier today when I was doing the search video in the wind, I got a call while I was on the video from Hendersonville, Tennessee, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to take this call. And I kind of got off real quick, and then I don't think I posted that one yet. And then I'm learning, right, of these things. And I'm like, what do you mean? You know, and they're like, the heat is up. I'm like, oh my God, thank God, right? So this is coming from even locals in that area that realize something's coming through the grapevine. And that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. I just pray to God it leads us to him. Whatever it may be, if they go down, if they all 4 go down, if just Katie goes down or just Chris goes down or whatever, if that's what happens or it's somebody else, at least I pray it leads us to him somehow, some way. You know, there's little things that just don't make sense. And now that we know he was not seen on the 26th, I don't have to worry about who's the witness. Was there camera footage? But if there was camera footage and they would have the vehicle footage, they would put that in the Amber Alert. Like none of it made sense. And I kept going over it and I'm like, why is this not making sense? It's not making sense because it was not supposed to be. That's why it doesn't make sense. And I think everybody feels it now. I think when they change a date like that, it's basically saying, we know something happened to this young man before midnight. That's what I get from it. As the FBI, they don't really mess with nothing unless they go read why they trigger, what triggers them to missing children's cases. Go read the little things that they put in there. The second one will shock you. It will. And the Wi-Fi pings, the things like that of his devices, and 2 devices too. Like, what's going on, right? Like, something's going on. And I'm wondering when Sebastian's phone was used last. I'm wondering, well, we know pretty much why they left it on the bar. I think she didn't want him to have it because they could track that phone. They could track him by that phone. And I think the one problem, like I've always said from the get-go, I think the main mistake she made was the shoes. And that's the problem, I think, was the shoes. Because I think she needed those shoes, remember? To try to make a scent or to go out to that car. Think about it. She needed the shoes, Sebastian's shoes, to go out there. So did she take the shoes off of him while he was in Chris's truck? And just say, hey, you're going to your dad's, but these shoes are staying here. I bought them. And you can wear your boots when you get there. We don't know, right? And this is just my theories, right? This is just my free speech, my speculation. I'm just saying something. She had to have those shoes to make that video, to make that Tinkerbell video look real. She had to have the shoes for his scent, and it just didn't work. I think because her scent overwhelmed, she slid it off and slid it on, but her socks and sweat were the ones seeping out. So I guarantee you, if they would have let him sniff Katie, that dog, one of those dogs would have went straight to where that car was parked. I can almost bet you it would have. And I bet they probably went down that back fence towards that retention pond. Everywhere she walked is where that dog would have followed. Because we know Sebastian Joe sure didn't walk around there. And they're saying he never left that home. And that was said pretty much early on, too. There's no proof that he left his home on his own. That's big, guys. Take it as big. There's no proof that he left this home on his own. So that means he either floated out, the UFOs, the drone wars, something, right? It means that he didn't walk out of that home, not even to take the trash out. Why? Because he wasn't there to take out the trash, I don't feel. And I know it's just me, and y'all probably laughing at me right now, but I'm just telling you, something's not adding up and something to break. I feel it. And I think the date change is going to be the reason it breaks. I think it's going to add up to whatever they have. I think they just got something back, and they're like, bingo. I think the drum roll is coming, right? Anyway, guys, y'all be good. Y'all be safe. We love y'all, guys. I don't know how I'm going to post these two because the first one doesn't have no ending, and this one does, so I'm going to say ending for both at the same time. Trigger warnings again, times 100 million, and allegedly my free speech, right? Alleged bubble. Don't take it as fact. Take it as a grain of salt. Anyway, tonight I just wanted to kind of touch base. I didn't realize I was going to go this long. But anyway, guys, y'all be good. Y'all be safe. We love y'all, guys. And we'll talk on the next one. We're losing that fire. I burned so much wood tonight that I think it's time to take a break. So y'all guys be good. Be safe. I got to cut some more wood tomorrow. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow, guys. I'll drop these. I'll try to drop it to where the other one drops first and then this one. But I don't know. This one might fall first. So just remember, if this little 30-minute one falls first, you got to watch the other one first because it's the most important. Anyway, guys, y'all be good. Be safe. We love y'all, guys. Remember my eye of the tiger back there. I'm not a good artist, but I'm learning. Y'all be safe. We love y'all, guys. Thank y'all so much for all y'all's wonderful comments. We hit 1,500 today. Wow, amazing, right? I was out in the field when it happened, but we still hit 1,500 subs today. That was cool. So y'all guys be good, be safe. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much. And we'll see y'all on the next one, guys. All right? Justice for Sebastian, Wayne Drake Rogers. Prayers for this young man. Prayers for all the missing, all the runaway, all the voiceless. They run for a reason, guys. This could have been Sebastian as a runaway, right? That's what they tried to predict it as. Only thing is they didn't realize is there's no scent. Can't run away if you don't leave a trail, right? I see it. Although we know now, no dogs, nothing. We know now, 25th of February, not the 26th. So that tells us one thing. The reason they never put an Amber Alert out on a car, for that car that was on that road, is because they know who that car was. And it was not somebody that took Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I think it's part of the cover-up, just like weighting the trash can down, trying to push people's narrative towards Memphis, trying to make it between 12 and 6 a.m. Why not before? That goes to show us it's most likely before. It's sad. It breaks my heart to think about it, but I do still have hope and faith that he could be put up. A small little smidgen of it. But we need answers. We need to find him. That's what it is. We just need to find the young man. Then we'll know. Just like Suzanne Simpson, she's missing. Nikki McKen. We need to find them all. And I can't do it by myself. I need y'all's help. So, all right, guys. Y'all be good. Be safe. We love you guys. We'll talk soon. We'll see y'all on the next one. Bye-bye.